Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your man Kamari, aka Reno Slow Motion, on here making another real quick video before I go kick it with some friends. And I thought about it since this topic, since Pride was coming up, and I said, well, yep, Pride is coming up, and I thought about what I went through last year, and what my trans brothers went through last year, and thinking about how it's gonna go this year. So I kind of wanted to make a video real quick just to get some stuff off my chest because I thought about it like really, really hard about it. And the topic of this video is called Transphobia and the Homosexual Community. And trans transphobia from the homosexual community. And the reason why I thought about it like that is because after Pride, there was a lot of issues. There were a lot of slurs, rude remarks, disrespect from the homosexual community. And these same people who talk about they down for their community, they represent the six colors, they'll respect somebody for who they are, and blah, 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 blah. So I said I wanted to make a video about this. Alright, so yeah, see my TV in the background. So basically, I wanted to address this real quick because it kind of bothers me a little bit. If you are down for your community and you say you give respect to your community, then how can you disrespect somebody a part of your community? There is a lot of homosexuals that give disrespect to the trans community, but then say they're down for the whole LGBTQ community and not be. Because if you are, then you will not make rude remarks towards someone who's transgender, trans man, or trans woman. Just because you don't understand why they decided to transition or have the information of what makes a person want to transition, you can't sit up here and disrespect or degrade somebody's uh, rights of what they're doing for themselves, and then want to have the same rights to call yourself the same pronouns they decide to do. You know, and I've witnessed this. Um, most of the studs in the homosexuality community disrespects a lot of trans men and a lot of lesbians. There's not been a lot of lesbians like that. It has been some lesbians that say if I want to be with a man, then I be with a man, and da da da, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay. And then there's a lot of studs that say this same. One, I've heard, they ain't in touch with their feminine side. Want to be a man because they can't be true to them. How do you to justify why somebody do something just because you choose to be a lesbian? And a lot of y'all ain't even in touch with your own side. Somebody that chooses to go through the steps to become a grown man and chooses to be transgender and go through the steps, like I said, to become a grown man or woman is doing better than you are. You're a pretender. You're a front. A lot of stuff are front and pretenders. And I'm gonna put this out there like this. Um, you can't be sit up here and be down for your homosexuality community, and you sit up here and you degrade another part of your community. It's not right. It's disrespectful. It's hatred. It's bashing. It's tearing down, manipulating another community partner. You can't sit down. I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 finger color. I'm got representing you rocking rainbow at Pride, but you just got through talking about your trans brother, your gay brother, or your trans, your MTR sister and all that. You just got through tearing them down because they didn't do what you did, or they didn't stay true to what you say they should have stayed true. Well, if he should have stayed a woman, I mean a man, he shouldn't have became a woman. Maybe he wasn't, just because he wasn't masculine, maybe he should have been gay, or y'all to say that same thing about trans men. Well, they don't know what they want to be. They confused, so they decided to go get their chest cut off because they ain't in touch with being a female. They don't, maybe no women want them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You really have no understanding how many trans men we pull women all day long. You have no recollection of that. We ain't bad on that. You know what I'm saying? We can get some women, but what I'm tired of is going to pride and having pride for my community, and my community is disrespecting me. You know, half of my community is downsizing me, down degrading us, making bad slash comments towards us on Facebook and downlink and YouTube, talking about we don't know what we want to be, or we ain't we don't maybe no women want us, so we decide we want to become a man. But then you do the same shit because we decide to go ahead and go through the steps to become a man. You sit up here and call your strap your dick. Oh man, that's my dick. You know, suck on my strap, fuck my strap. Yeah, my strap this, my strap that. It's only a fucking toy. That's it. It's a mold of another man's dick, a straight man's penis. That is it. If you want to be fun about it, it's not really your dick. It's the man's mold of his dick. If you want to go find out whose dick is molded from, go ask somebody. But your dick you bought maybe for 50, maybe 50 or 45 to $50, and a strap harness. That's it. That's what makes it your dick. But guess what? It's not attached to you. When you was raised and came into the world, it was not with you. So your dick should not define who the fuck you are. Just like me having a dick does not define me as a gentleman. If I was, I'd be more of a man without my dick, and I'm more of a man with my dick because I understand what females go through and what men go through. But even if I didn't have one, I still respect people who don't have one. They're more of a man than a man who has one. Trans men are more men than men who do have it because they understand what it was like for a female and what she goes through, and I understand now what mentally men physically goes through. So having the justifications, you really can't sit up here and want your woman to call you he and him and use male pronouns, but you say you're a lesbian. But you want to downgrade someone who chooses to transition to have that respect of them pronouns. You understand what I'm saying? You can't sit up here and justify someone else for what they do and not have the justifications come back at you. You can't sit up here and say you're a lesbian, but you want your girlfriend to call you baby daddy just because you got a child or she has a child. You can't sit up here and get mad when the trans man on the side he's being called him, and then no, 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 that's a girl, that's a girl, that's a girl, but you want your girl to call you he when you in public. You know, who's being real about themselves? Who has the right to have certain sayings about someone? We do more than you do, but yet we have a lot of issues when it comes from the homosexuality community. The homosexual community bashing and tearing down the trans community because a man chooses to become a woman or a woman chooses to become a man, and it's not up to the par becoming a or being a lesbian. Not everybody's meant to be the same way. Even if she is a lesbian, there are a lot of stems in the community. Just because label is lesbian does not justify who she is. When you came into the world, you didn't have that justification. You was just a female who had your regular title for a name, and that was it. But yet, now y'all have these titles and need these labels to justify who you are, or signify your, or give your signification of this is me, this is how I am. Like the person really can't tell, or not going to ask. If someone doesn't know something, they're going to ask about it. The same thing. You being homosexual, the bad someone who's trans, ask them why they choose to transition. Ask them what made them transition. Ask them what made them take the steps that they took. Don't sit up here and bash something you know nothing about because they choose not to be you, a lesbian or a man or whatever, or bisexual. Everybody's meant to be different. And bisexuality has changed all the time. Lesbianism changes all the time. Gay changes all the time. Queer has expanded way over T. But nobody goes that far. When it has to do with trans community, it's a whole lot of issue when it comes to the park. Like I went in Atlanta, heard many slurs and slashes against people who are transgender. Went to the park, heard much remarks. But you don't understand what it takes to be us. But we understand what it takes to be you. But yet you want to bash something because you don't understand it, or you think it's disrespecting the lesbianism community. It's not. It's not changing you. You still gonna be you, and we're gonna be us. But what I'm tired of is hearing about it like our rights is not equal to your rights. Like we should not be able to change ourselves to be complete. Like just because you choose to be gay and like women, like we're supposed to. No, everybody's not meant to be the same. And just because you choose the title to be a lesbian, they choose the title to be a FTM or a trans woman, it's different. Everybody's meant to be different. And if you can't understand that, then you need to keep your own community to yourself. Your community needs to be at your own house with you surrounding it. Because with you or without you, community is going to transition every single day. Even if a MTF or a trans man, trans woman, whatever, even when we transition, your community is always going to expand. It's going to change. And if you can't be par up with it, then it's going to leave you. And my thing is, I'm tired of my trans communities being bashed, transphobia being bashed from homosexual people. You can't be down for the community when you bashing half of your community. I'm just gonna be real, because you're a bigot. You know what I'm saying? You're a hypocrite. Can't be saying I'm six color rockin' rainbow at Pride, but you just talk about 100% of the trans community, and I hear about it. You know, walls do talk. People do hear shit that you don't think we hear. We do hear it, and it's rude and it's disrespectful, and it needs to fucking stop real fast. It does. Because one of y'all studs, lesbian femmes, is gonna walk up on the wrong trans person and say the wrong shit. Well, you couldn't be a stud, or you couldn't handle being a female, and all that bullshit, and you're gonna get your ass whooped. And it's not gonna be funny, and it's gonna be a sad moment. And I'm just gonna put it point blank period like that. It needs to stop, man. It really does. That's all I'm gonna say. All this transphobia, all this transphobia from the homosexual community, it needs to come to a halt. It needs to stop. This is your man, Kamari, and I'm out. Peace.